This week I spoke in New South Wales Parliament. The opposition leader was there. One of the ministers was there. Were there. A number of MPs, members of the upper house, as well as staff. And so one of the themes, I'll share with you one of the themes. But first, in this week's Torah portion, we read that when the tabernacle, the Mishkan, was finally ready, there was a dedication ceremony, and at the time of dedication, the leaders of the tribes brought a gift to the tabernacle. They brought a combined gift and an individual gift. The combined gift were wagons and oxen because the Mishkan, the tabernacle, had to be moved around the desert. So they gave gifts of oxen and wagons to be able to move it. The beams and some of the coverings. The one thing we find is that all the tribes brought those gifts, plus they brought the gifts of particular sacrifices and vessels that were used in the temple. But there was one tribe that wasn't part of it. That was the tribe of Levi, the tribe of the Cohen. And there's a famous Ramban, Nachmanides, who says that Aaron was actually jealous, and God says to him, don't worry, what you do is greater than what they did. You're going to light the menorah, and that's considered even greater than the sacrifices that were brought in the temple. Why? Because it's eternal. Because from the menorah lit in the tabernacle, we have the Hanukkah menorah. But the Rebbe says, but why couldn't he still take part? I mean, why was the tribe of Levi exempt? Or not exempt is the wrong word, didn't have the opportunity of bringing these gifts to the tabernacle. And the answer that Rebbe gives is interesting. He says, when you go to a wedding, you bring a gift. But the bride and the groom, they don't bring gifts. They're the ones being celebrated. So it doesn't make sense for them to bring a gift. You have a bar mitzvah. People come to the bar mitzvah and they bring a gift. The bar mitzvah himself doesn't bring a gift. He's the one who's being celebrated. You know, it's interesting, when the war broke out, we have neighbors who are Iranians, and when the war with Iran broke out, they were so excited and so ecstatic, and they invited us over to come together. They had like 30 friends there, and they invited us over to come and celebrate. And when I came in, I felt that the ovation and the celebration, I felt like they weren't celebrating with us, they were celebrating us. Because they saw Israel as the one leading the way, and we were the representative of Israel, of the Jewish people, of the collective Jewish people. So they were celebrating us. The temple, Aaron and the Levites, they were who was celebrated. They weren't celebrating, they were the ones being celebrated. So it didn't make sense for them to bring a gift, because they were like the bride and groom. That was the Rebbe's answer. The Rebbe said, for example, at his wedding, his father-in-law was going around giving l'chaim to all the luminaries of the Jewish world that came to the Rebbe's wedding. It was in Warsaw, and there were great Torah scholars and Hasidic leaders who lived in Warsaw and came to the Rebbe's wedding. And the Rebbe says he felt very uncomfortable that his father-in-law, who was the Rebbe, is going around with the l'chaim, and he has to sit in this place. And so he wanted to go help his father-in-law. And father says, no, you sit. You're the king, so to speak. You're the one everyone's coming for. You have to sit in your place. And the Rebbe says he sat on shpilkes, like pins and needles. He was uncomfortable sitting there while his father-in-law was going around. But that's what had to happen, because he was the one being celebrated. There's a bar mitzvah boy once came to the Rebbe, and the Rebbe said to him if he likes baseball and which team he follows. I think it was either the Yankees or the Brooklyn Dodgers. And the Rebbe says, if the game is a laugher, if it's a blowout, could you leave? He says, yes. And the Rebbe says, could the players leave? And he says, no. He says, why not? Because they're the players. We're the fans. The fans could come and go. They leave early if the game's a blowout. But the players, they're the ones playing. They have to be there. They have no choice. And the Rebbe says, so you have to be a player. In other words, we're in this world. The Talmud tells us that this world is like a place of a wedding. And we have to decide, are we the fans or are we the players? We're put here to be the players. That's a theme that I actually gave in Parliament. That the leadership, those who have chosen to serve the community and the people, are the ones who are bringing the world to the place that it needs to go. It needs to move towards. You know, the ancients viewed life in a cyclical way, which means, you know, the more things change, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Unfortunately, the Jewish community can feel that now with anti-Semitism, that the more things change, the more they stay the same. But we actually view the world as linear. What Judaism gave the world is voracious. Everything begins with a beginning, and it's leading towards a messianic time, leading towards a positive time. Therefore, everything from the beginning till the end is actually going in a particular trajectory. And we have to be the players to bring the world to that trajectory. And this is one of the themes that we have in our course that I'm going to be starting this week, called For All Humankind. I'm going to be doing live and on Zoom. So if you want to join it, I'm going to be putting send me a DM to be able to be part of this amazing course, which is about each one of us being players, not fans. In other words, we each have to have a responsibility to share with the world what the 7 Noahide laws are. What are the values by which all humanity have to live by in order to bring the world to the place, the ultimate place. We have to be, and we have to inspire them to be players in the game, not just fans watching things happen, but making it and making a great change in this world. So I hope to share it with you. I hope you can come and join us.